There are millions of children in the world who are struggling in school because they're stressed out and they can't focus. If they live in the industrialized countries, they may be part of the 10% of our children that we diagnose with ADHD or anxiety disorders. These kids are everywhere. They might live right next door to you. They might live with you, and maybe they are you. One of them is this little boy. He's my son. He headed off to school, and he looked like this. And then, before long, he looked and he felt like this. So how do we get these kids back here where they're alive again and they're succeeding at school? Many of these kids are above average intelligence, but they have delays or differences in the development of their prefrontal cortex. This is a part of your brain that helps with executive functioning, and it controls your anxiety, your impulses, and your attention. And some of them have a very reactive amygdala. That's the part of your brain that deals with fear and fight or flight. So simply put, a lot of these kids are overwired in reactivity, underwired in control, and so they really struggle at school. When I was trying to solve this problem, I thought all kids actually already know how to relax and how to focus. So when this little boy blows on a pinwheel, he calms his body by blowing, and that calms his brain. And he focuses his attention on the pinwheel spinning, so he's relaxed or calm and focused already. So to help these kids develop an ability to be able to calm down and focus on purpose, we need to show them how to do it. They need to know how it feels in their body. And then we need to teach it so they can do it intentionally when they really need to. And we need to find a way to get them to practice it so it gets easier, like everything. So we made a tool, a brain-computer interface and application. And then we use this to help children learn how to calm down and focus. It's called Mindful. It works with this EEG headset that looks like that. And it's wirelessly connected to an Android tablet, which most 8-year-olds have Android tablets or Apple tablets. So the system basically measures what's going on in the child's brain. Are they calm? Are they anxious? It sends that to a program on the tablet that causes something to happen in a series of games. So each of these games is based on something really simple and familiar to the children, like a pinwheel. So in the pinwheel game, in Mindful, when a child blows on the pinwheel on the screen on their tablet, what happens is their brain starts to calm down. And the headset picks that up, sends it to the tablet, and the pinwheel spins. And they get reward, or they get to see what's happening in their brain. And if they start to get agitated or they lose their attention, the pinwheel stops. And so they get to hold it for a period of time. They earn tokens. Games work for certain things. Anyone who has a teenager playing video games know that if you want someone to repetitively practice something, a video game is the way to do it. So one of the really important things is that Mindful makes invisible brain processes visible. And it does this in a way that kids can learn what it feels like, and they know when they're getting it right. So we're starting our third study with Mindful in the schools. We're working with young children in the Alternative Schools program in Burnaby. Previously, as was alluded to earlier, we did a study with children who had suffered severe trauma and lived in poverty in Nepal at a school funded by the Nepal House Society. So my son at this point had grown up and become quite good at these sorts of games. So he taught the kids how to use Mindful. We designed it explicitly for them. He showed them how to use it. And we ran a controlled field study in Nepal. We split the kids into 2 equivalent groups so we could have a control group, and we worked with the first group for 6 weeks and the second group for another 6 weeks. We assessed all of the children at the beginning, in the middle, and at the end so we could see what happened. We looked at many measures, but the ratings of behavior showed that kids significantly improved in their abilities to be able to calm down in a stressful situation. When they'd first come to school, when something bad had happened in their household, they paid better attention in class. And one of the really exciting findings for me was not that, although watching these little guys was pretty amazing, but was this. Sorry to put a graph up there for you, but that little thing there. That's the kids who weren't using the app. They got better. So after they used the app, they learned how to self-regulate, and then they continued to improve. And the teacher would say to them, Okay, everyone settle down. Remember what it's like when you make the pinwheel spin and the whole class settles down. So why that's really important is it means that an entire school can benefit from one tablet and one headset, and we can reach millions of children. Thank you.